Today I'm going to talk to you about how you can actually optimize your page to look like an authority in your space, because your page is basically the first impression that anyone gets to see if they're like scrolling through social media. They're scrolling through like basically, let's say Instagram or like TikTok, and they see your page. The first thing that is going to stand out to them is basically your page, as simple as possible. So it's very important that it's always as optimized as you possibly can make it, because the way you have your whole like page and everything set up is going to dictate the amount of people that are actually going to come through and do the thing you want them to do, or the people that are going to actually follow you. So we have to make sure that that stuff is already sorted. So who would you rather respond to? This is just a quick question. So someone's page, it looks like this. So I just build this out just in case, and maybe they have like a bit more followers. Just imagine they have like 10k, and it doesn't really have any explanation, or an account that kind of looks like this. So it has the bio there, it has a really nice image, and then it has the whole like wall of highlights where it explains exactly what they do and some social proof, and then it has the post as well too. So even if you don't have a bunch of followers, still having your page really optimized is probably one of the best things you could probably do. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why I had such good success in like a short period of time, is that I actually really identified my audience, and I made sure that the people that see my page are the people that I actually want them to follow. So before I get into anything, my name is Mahis. I'm doing on Webful, and we specialize in helping coaches and consultants grow their audiences by 100% every 90 days. And I'm going to explain to you how optimizing your page is probably one of the most important things when you're trying to look like an authority, because it's literally the first impression, and a potential prospect will go on your page, and if they don't look, if the whole like page doesn't look like it's speaking to them, then they're not really gonna do anything. So here's the walkthrough of what you need to do to set up in order to look like the real deal. So the first thing I would recommend is obviously just profile picture. Everyone says that you have to have like something professional, or like something like work ethic. I don't know how to say it, but like professional. I don't really think it should be like that. I actually think it just has to be like a really good image of you. It doesn't really have to be professional, like you just in the camera like this with like no smile or something like that. It doesn't always have to be. Just make it a picture that the criteria is literally just make sure that they can see you. That's the criteria. The criteria is basically, as long as they can tell you're a human being, you should be good. So you can have a nice background. You can be like in a beach or something. Just make sure people can see who you are. You shouldn't be like a profile picture where you're like facing your back or something like that. It's like a picture of your shirt, or like a mirror selfie or something like that. I don't know, man. Like, just make sure that they can clearly see you. That's the profile picture. It should be very straightforward. Then second part is your bio. So this is another important one, and it just makes sure that it tells people exactly what you do and who you do it for, essentially. So a really good example is like I just wrote this out, is I help normal people. Let me get rid of that. Help normal people quit the 9 to 5 and make more money online remotely. Over 2 million earned from my clients. DM me on how to get started. So basically, it's just a very short thing. It tells you what you do and who you do it for, and then just a bit of like social proof in here, and then the CTA. So the structure is kind of like who you help, who you do, a little statement that proves that you're the real deal. So maybe you can flex like who you've worked for, or like over 2 million and earned from my clients, something like that. Just a little flex in there, just to make sure that you feel like you're credible. And then a CTA, so call to action: follow me for more tips, or like download my ebook here. So sometimes some people might just want followers, sometimes some people might want link clicks, sometimes people might want DMs. So whatever that is, just make sure your CTA is really clear and it speaks out to people, because if people see this and they're like, oh, I'm a normal person that's in a 9 to 5, and this person is telling me how he can help me, I'm probably gonna DM them. If you don't have this in place, they're not really gonna know the next step. They're just gonna know what you do, but they're not really necessarily gonna know how they can get into it, essentially. So you might be surprised, people really require a lot of direction in these type of things. So making your potential prospects' lives easier just makes your life easier as well too. And then the last part is just highlights. So it's a recent feature that's exclusive to Instagram, and it's actually a really good way to show off your personality and credibility, because you want to make sure you're looking nice, and you want to make them look really nice and appealing, so people know what they're clicking on. Or you can just keep it simple. So here are just a couple inspirations, the ones that I found really nice. So this is some minimalistic ones that is on the Road to Text profile. So as you can see, testimonials, offers, books, inspiration, resources. So usually what people do is that they'll come in the testimonials part to see what people have said, and then when they see, okay, this person has social proof, they're going to be a lot more confident to actually work with them. So that's a really good one to have in there. Testimonials is really, really good. Then you could also have like resources, inspiration, or just general stuff for like daily life or something like that, just to feel like make it feel like a bit personal. So these are just some examples. I really like this one from a really good programming account I follow. So these are just some examples. I'm sure your people in the industry, like the top players in the industry, have these. So just make sure you can have a look and then maybe take some inspiration from that. So that's just the whole like account setup side. So like that's the front end, and then still on the front end we have to look at the posts. So I know, you might know all this type of stuff, but your posts basically your posts are basically what they are. Your posts need to be something that they can look at and they can actually learn something out of. So it shouldn't be anything like not educational or something that doesn't actually teach them or give them value when they've watched it, because these are the first impressions of everything. If your first post that the person sees, like the pinned post, is basically you just flexing the amount of money you made, it might be a good thing depending on your niche, but most of the time it's not really gonna help that much, because it's not really helping anyone. It's kind of just increasing your ego in a sense. It's not really helping anyone if you're just kind of flexing your money. But if you're maybe promoting a finance thing or something like that, or like a program where people can earn money, that's a good thing. But for the rest of the people that aren't doing that, then you shouldn't really have that type of stuff where you're flexing as like the top of your page. Have the most educational things or the most stuff that gives the most value on the top, and then underneath that, then you can have all your lifestyle posts. You can have all that type of stuff in there just to make you feel a bit more personal. So always make sure to have appealing thumbnails and they match like your overall theme. And your theme could basically be like the format. So if I scroll up here, I see how she has like this kind of like lights pastel theme. It kind of goes on in the whole page, and that's like a really good thing to have, so people can kind of like identify your post and they can identify who you are. And make sure you have like a nice and appealing thumbnails, so people can see what the video is about before they click on it, and if it resonates with them, they'll actually really like it. So if you have all these stuff in place, there's no reason why someone's not going to come to your account and they wouldn't feel like, okay, I probably need this person's help, because you've already optimized your page like extremely well. A lot of people talk about like, oh, you have to optimize your page and all that type of stuff, but I don't think I've ever seen someone actually go super in depth like the way I'm doing it this way. There probably has been, but like for different accounts, but it's like the whole like roadmap of making something like super personalized. And once you've done this is like a set and forget it. You just spend like 10 minutes, send this up, and then once this is done, like you have like a really good asset for like months, even years to come, because it's just kind of sitting there and you're not really changing much aside from like maybe adding in like an extra highlight or something like that, or like adding up testimonials. You're not really changing up anything. So once you've set this, you pretty much forget about this in a sense. So make sure you get this down straight away, because this is like the biggest game changer, especially when it comes to first impressions, and it's really going to boost up the people that come on your page and the people that actually follow you, do all the stuff you do. Apart from that, that's basically it. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you found a lot of value in this, please give me a sub and check out my other videos, because I'm going to be providing as much value as possible in order to help you grow as a coach or consultant online. And that's basically it. So take care of yourself, and if you want to learn more about how we can actually set this up for you, or if you want to learn about a different content strategy you can use in order to grow your audience without you having to do much effort, first link in the description. Book a call with me. Let's talk about cool stuff. All right, guys, see you in the next one.